In the late afternoon, there was tennis on the village courts.
Peter, our lovemaking is a lot like our tennis. It is at times very physical, deep ground strokes.
Or even violent, like a crunching overhead.
I love it that way.
Or as gentle and delicate as a touch volley or a deft drop shot.
They walked toward the tennis courts, knowing that the game was going to be as exciting as the lovemaking that would follow. For tennis was a sort of foreplay for love. Peter opened a new can of balls, S2,
That way too.
That's a sweet sound, Peter.
Only the best for us.
As she stood there, her sunny brown legs seemed to go on forever, and thus drew attention to the place of their convergence. Her breasts peeked out and invited Peter's glimpse. Their tennis-playing styles were very different. She was very steady and was quite comfortable hitting ground strokes from the baseline. He tended to close into the net at every opportunity to volley her blistering shots. The contrast made for very interesting matches, as every point soon reached the stage of do or die. The match began.
Her serves came in flat and deep, making it hard for him to get his racket under them, so he just concentrated on getting them back.
She immediately pinned him behind the baseline and moved the ball from side to side. They carefully watched the motion and direction of the other's racket in order to get a clue as to where the next shot was going to land, and the spin, if any, on the ball. And so it went. Sweat was dripping onto Peter's lips, and during the odd game break, Angelina kissed it away.
I love you, and I love this day, and I love this game.
I love you very much, and I love the feel of the sun on my skin and the feel of the ball on my racket. What's the score? How come we're so crazy about hitting a fuzzy yellow ball over some netting with a bunch of string laced from catgut? S1. Love, love.
It's some kind of drug, a wonderfully healthy drug.
As we are to each other.
Addict me, please.
Wait until I get my hands on you when we get back.
It soon got too dark to play, and so they headed back, hot, heated, and hepped up, to their sandstone farmhouse. He helped her out of her clothes in the backyard as she lay on the picnic table, her chest still heaving with the exertion, the droplets of sweat running all over and between her breasts.
I can see your heart beating.
I can see your blood pumping.
She wrapped her thighs around him for a long while. Then they entered a small pond and soothed their tired muscles. It was much like wearing a cool ice pack. They felt cool, refreshed, and sleepy. Finally, hunger called, and they lit the charcoal and cooked chicken and fish. They next drank wine and drifted along on its pleasantness.
Do you have new balls? Then rush to my net and send a stroke up my middle. S1, I do.
She twirled his racket handle and gave him a preview of the coming attractions. He tasted her again, returning the favor. He straddled her pomegranates, putting his strokes all over and around them and between them as she pressed on them from each side. After volleying back and forth, his blood surging, he entered her court, and they played mixed singles, then doubles, with tiebreakers, good calls, and angles from side to side. She touched him all around with her fingernails, especially the insides of his thighs, and he scratched her back, exciting her further. After 5 sets, they finished the exhilarating match with an orgasmic cheer, and then lay happily exhausted in the arena of unending love. S1, my pleasure.